Hello everyone, today is 11th of March. My name is Sahil and welcome to the newspaper analysis. Guys, in today's GS folder, we'll take a quote from Malala Yousafzai, the winner of Nobel Peace Prize. She says, extremists have shown what frightens them most, a girl with a book. Now, here, the extremists are the ones who hold a dogmatic outlook and even propagate the violence to justify their ideology or to justify their line of thinking. And these extremists have a utmost fear with the education because the education teaches us the rationality, teaches us how to question the rudimentary sentiments, belief systems. And a girl with a book simply means an empowered woman who doesn't takes the discrimination for granted, who doesn't takes the status quo as it is going on, and they question it onto the grounds of bringing more equality and justice, and it shakes the foundation of extremists. So this particular quote has been given. Now guys, you can utilize it into the answers related to GS paper number 2, women and education, GS paper number 4, as well as into the essays. So guys, that is all about today's GS folder, and now let's take the newspaper analysis in detail. Now, guys, taking up the first article. This article has been taken from the Indian Express newspaper and it talks about the cabinet decision to increase the FDI limit into the insurance sector. Now, guys, when we talk about the insurance sector, it is chiefly regulated under the Insurance Act of 1938. And under this particular act, right now, 49% of the foreign FDI is allowed, and now it will be increased to 74% of the limit, and the bill will be tabled soon. Now, this particular decision is going in sync with the announcement that was made by the finance minister into the budget of 2021-2022, where it was said that the soon financial sector reforms will be announced. Now, guys, all the bank privatization as well as this particular increase into the limit are part of that reforms only. Further, guys, apart from increasing the limit, it has also been said that the national interest will also be kept into the mind. Therefore, the majority of directors onto the board as well as key management personals into the insurance companies, they needed to be the resident Indians. Further, guys, it has been provided that there will be many advantages of increasing this particular limit. It has been provided, see, into India the insurance penetration has been very much low. Approximately 3.71% of GDP equivalent is the insurance penetration, and now as the FDI limit will come, more of good marketing strategies will be coming, a broader range of products, customized products will be created for the different sections of the society, and the insurance will become attractive. Moreover, guys, more capital will enter into the Indian market, and at the affordable rate, insurance products will be made available to the people. And finally, even more competition will come, and whenever the competition comes, at the end of the day, it is good for the consumer. So guys, it is all very good for the insurance into the India as well as for the insurance penetration as said by the government. So guys, that is all about this particular article, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, friends, this article has been taken from the Times of India newspaper, and here we can see that government has in principle agreed to one of the judiciary's decision in order to bring the efficacy into the judicial processes. Now, before going into this article, guys, I would like to tell you some of the background. See, when we talk about the Indian judicial processes, we call it as very slow, very tardy. The reason is that there are huge number of backlog cases. Approximately 3.5 crore cases are backlog into the three tiers of judiciary. Now, guys, majority of these cases pertain to the civil domain, and into the civil, large number of cases pertains to the check bouncing. Guys, more than 1 crore check bouncing cases are there. Now, these cases are being dealt into the regular courts, and therefore they had clogged the entire judicial functioning. So, few days back, the Supreme Court suggested that we need to create exclusive courts which will deal with the check bouncing cases under section 138 of the Negotiable Instrument Act. It will free up the mainstream courts from such large number of cases. Now, the center has also given the approval and had said that they are also ready to establish such kind of institution, but it has been said that before going into the modalities, we need to establish an expert committee which will tell that what will be the entire makeup, what will be the responsibilities, and all such kind of things. So therefore, guys, on such kind of recommendation, even a jumbo committee which is headed by the former Bombay High Court Judge R.C. Chauhan has been established, and it has been given a mandate that within 3 months time it needs to give its recommendation. Now, guys, when we take the analysis of this particular development, not only it will free up the hand of judiciary, will make the judicial backlog very much lean and will give more time to judiciary to deal with the other cases. Rather, it will also restore the legitimacy of the check, which is an important instrument of our settlements. Now, guys, the people are reluctant in receiving the check because of the fear of bouncing, and even when the checks are bounced and the complaints are filed, they are not resolved into a time bound manner. Now, these exclusive courts will all be resolving such kind of problems. So, therefore, it is a kind of a very good development. Now, guys, it is the mandate of this jumbo expert committee that they needs to come out with out of the box solution, that how this entire matter can be resolved into most efficient manner. So, guys, that is all. Guys, please do utilize this development in GS paper number 3 economy related articles. So that is all, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Friends, this article has been taken from the Indian Express newspaper, and it talks about government's new criteria or the new direction that has been given to the telecom companies with respect to import of telecom equipments. So here we can see that the Department of Telecommunication has amended the licensing condition and has asked the telcos that see, the defense and the national security are the important considerations, and you need to keep them in your mind when the telecom equipments are being purchased from the foreign vendors. You need to see that whether the foreign vendors are trusted or not trusted. Guys, it has been seen that into past few years there have been attempts by some of the telecom equipment vendors to install backdoor or trapdoor vulnerabilities. Now, guys, these backdoor or trapdoor vulnerabilities simply means that they are the bugs which can extract information and can pass it illegally to other agencies around the world. So it has been said that some of the telecom equipment providers such as the ZTE as well as Huawei, they install such kind of vulnerabilities into the telecom equipments. So therefore, this particular directive is a clear cut indication that any import from such foreign vendors, they are needed to be more scrutinized. Now, guys, this particular amendment has come as a part of Cabinet Committee on Securities National Security Directive, where it was provided that the foreign vendors will be classified as trusted and not trusted, and this classification will be done by National Cyber Security Coordinator. Now, guys, National Cyber Security Coordinator's decision will be made onto the basis of approval of other committee, which will be headed by the Deputy National Security Advisor. So, guys, that is all about this particular article. Now, guys, by this particular thing, there will be an impact onto the Chinese imports that are coming into India, and it is even an outrightly backlash onto the China also. Now, it is good as well as bad. Now, first of all, it is good because when the gap will be developed, obviously the Indian manufacturers will try to exploit it, and therefore Atmanirbharta into the long term will be developed. But on to the other hand, there can be some challenges also, because, guys, right now we are having the three major telcos, and into them 30% of Bharti Airtel's existing network, it comprises Chinese telecom equipments, which is majorly coming from the ZT as well as Huawei, and it is 40% for the Vodafone Idea, and even the state-run telcos such as the BSNL as well as MTNL are also running onto the Chinese equipment. So how into the short terms they will be switching all such large components, it is a major challenge. Though onto the maintenance contracts nothing has been said, but, guys, into the long term, either we need to develop our capabilities or we need to find the suitable vendors. So, guys, that is all about this particular article, and I hope you have understood it. Now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, friends, this article has been taken from the Times of India newspaper, and here we can see that the Supreme Court has sought the government's reply onto the Uniform Succession Law. No, it basically a PIL was filed into the Supreme Court, where it was said that India needs a gender and religion neutral succession and inheritance laws. And as the Supreme Court has also agreed to such kind of things, we can see that the Supreme Court is moving closer to the Uniform Civil Code. Now, guys, Uniform Civil Code has been provided into the article number 44, and it simply means that all the people should have the uniform civil laws. Civil laws pertains to the laws of marriage, laws of adoption, divorce, maintenance, succession, inheritance, etc. So it has been provided that here people should not be given the separate laws onto the basis of their gender or religion. Now, guys, Uniform Civil Code has earlier also been tried to be introduced, but it has seen the backlash from the conservative sections of some of the societies. It is said that it is an outright attack onto their culture, onto their diversity, and it has always been believed that into the name of Uniform Civil Code, in the government as well as judiciary, they are trying to impose the Hindu traditions and Hindu cultures. Now, guys, we can here see the history that how the Supreme Court earlier also had talked about bringing the Uniform Civil Code. Now, here we can take the example of from the Sarla Mudgal case, where it was said that where more than 80% of citizens have already been brought under codified personal law, there is no justification whatsoever to keep in abeyance or to keep in suspension the introduction of a uniform civil code for all its citizens. Then, guys, in 2003 also the judgment was given into the Valmatam case, and here also the Supreme Court highlighted that we need to have had to implement the Article 44 of the Indian Constitution, which provides for the Uniform Civil Code. Now, guys, the Uniform Civil Code, which it becomes very much important because often it has been seen that the women are at the receiving end into the name of customs, traditions, etc. Guys, into particularly context of the Muslim women, we can see that when the triple talaq was there, only women were suffering the agony, as well as when in inheritance succession they are being taken up by the traditions or customs. Often India is a patriarchal society, and therefore the women are discriminated. So when a uniform civil code onto the basis of gender parity, onto the basis of religion parity will come, it will impact the women into a substantial way. Now, here we can see the example also. For example, into the Muslim personal law, the share of female here is half of the male here. Now, guys, why Muslim personal law? Because a uniform civil code is not there. Further, we can also see that a childless Muslim widow is entitled to one fourth of the property of the deceased husband, but a widow who has children or grandchildren, she is entitled to just one eighth of the husband's property. So, here we can see that systematically women are being ignored, they are being sidelined. Moreover, guys, the Supreme Court also provided into the Jose Paulo Contino judgment in 2019 that it has regretted that the UCC has not been promulgated up till now. So therefore, in order to bring the equality onto the ground as well as into the spirit, the UCC should be promulgated. This is the justification that has been given here. Now, guys, there are the grounds onto the opposite also. You should keep them into your mind also. For example, it is said that when we celebrate the diversity of India, the diversity has been called as strength. And when we bring the UCC, a kind of a homogenization will come and the diversity will be lost. Secondly, guys, it has been provided that into the secularism, we had promised all the people that they can follow their traditions, they can follow their culture. And by bringing the UCC will be a compromise onto that secular nature. And finally, guys, often there has also been a kind of a fear into the minds of minority also that by bringing the UCC, nothing but the imposition of the Hindu culture will come. So we need to keep such kind of sensitivities into our mind also. So, guys, that is all about this article, and now we'll move to the next article. Now, guys, this article has been taken from the Hindu newspaper, and it says that right now a kind of a peace had prevailed at the border. Things look good onto the border because, first of all, China onto the LAC is started pulling from the Indian territories, as well as the Pakistan has also signed a ceasefire agreement. Now, guys, we can see that into the context of China, this is the first time that China had reassessed its ground strategy, that it has pulled back from the territories that it claimed. Now, earlier it happened in 2017 when China was showing aggression onto the Doklam, and even there was a 72-day standoff, but finally China conceded back. And now it is happening again where the disengagement had begun at Pangong So, Depsang Plain into the hot spring region. It is the withdrawal is yet to be beginning. Now, when we see the India's strategy with respect to the China, it was different before 2014. India believed that there needs to be the utmost engagement onto the diplomatic front, and therefore it tried to close matter into a quiet way, into a give and take manner. The same thing had happened in 2017 2013, particularly in 2013 when the Depsang incursions were made. India achieved the status quo by dismantling some of the assets that or the structures that India had made. But now the new policy had come, and this new policy is the policy of a proactive diplomacy, where there is an active engagement onto the ground, as well as there is also an active negotiations at the diplomatic level. And this particular approach is now new, which had led China to withdraw back. And it is said that it is in fact a kind of an effective strategy. Now see, the reference is given into the article from 1950s, when the Mao Zedong, he was the chief architect of in China's foreign policy. Now guys, the Mao Zedong, he asked the premier Zhou Enlai in 1962 that he should prepare the army for a war with India. Now here, when the Zhou Enlai asked that, we have signed the Panchshil agreement with India, and the peaceful coexistence is the principal pillar of Panchshil, why we should prepare for the war with India. Then the Mao Zedong said that rather than the peaceful existence, there needs to be the armed coexistence that will be practiced between the India and China, and India should get ready for that particular thing. So guys, this is on into the respect of the China. Now on to the other front, with the Pakistan also, the things are looking good, because a ceasefire agreement has been signed between the India and Pakistan into the February. And guys, though in 2018 also the ceasefire agreement was signed, but the 2021 ceasefire agreement is different, because both the sides have mutually agreed. And guys, this ceasefire assumes even importance, because you see, if into the present times the relations were not good. For example, there was the Pulwama attack which had happened. After the Pulwama attack, even the Prime Minister Imran Khan of Pakistan, he also said that there can be no engagement with India until the status quo with respect to the Jammu Kashmir is restored. Now, into the aftermath of all this, still the ceasefire agreement has been signed. What could be the reasons for this particular direction? Now, first of all, guys, there is that the FATF, that is the Financial Action Task Force, its sword is still hanging onto the Pakistan's head. Pakistan needs the allies, it needs the friend in its favor. Then, guys, the COVID-19 has impacted the Pakistan's export. After that, the China is a kind of a helping friend, but the uncertainty is also there in context of China. Moreover, guys, now as the Biden administration is becoming very much active with respect to the South Asia, and there is a very big probability that the Biden will be going forward with the crackdown onto the China, and will be favoring the India with respect to the South Asia policy. So guys, the Pakistan is also falling in line, and it needs to win the allies into the form of India. So therefore, the Pakistan has agreed to the ceasefire agreement that has been signed. So guys, that is all about this particular article. I hope you have understood it. And now we'll be moving to the next article. Friends, this article has been taken from the Hindu newspaper, and it talks about the increasing food subsidy bill. Into the article, there are large number of hairline data, statistics, numbers were given, which are actually not very much important, because such large amount of data you might not be able to recall into your examination. Now guys, into the article, much of the thought provoking ideas are not there. It is a very generalistic kind of article. If you want, then on your own you can make a reading, and no need to go too much into the details. So guys, that is all about this article. Now we'll move to the next article. Now, friends, this article has been taken from the Hindu newspaper, and here we can see one of the factual news. Here we can see that the largest floating solar power plant is into the final stages, and it will become operational into the May or the June next year. Now, guys, this largest floating solar power plant, it is located into the Ramagundam in Telangana. It is being developed by the NTPC, that is the National Thermal Power Corporation, and its capacity, the installed capacity of this particular plant will be the 100 megawatt, and it will help in India in enhancing the overall share into the renewable energy, as well as it will also help in meeting the 2015 Paris climate agreements that have been taken by the India. So friends, that is all about this article and today's newspaper analysis. I hope that you are understanding and finding it useful. Thank you so much.